welcome everybody once again to a beautiful, this is Chicago winter, really. So thank you all so much for coming here today and enjoying another episode of those thrilling days of yesteryear. It's a live recreation of your favorite shows from the golden age of radio. And we are well into our 9th season, and we're having a lot of fun doing this. We've got some great shows coming up for the rest of the year, and some really exciting stuff planned for our final, or not our final, but our 10th season, so we'll mention that later. But right now, we'd like to take you and introduce you to It's a Man's Life in Old-Time Radio. Today we have two of the roughest, toughest he-men of radio. Private Detective Sam Spade faces... Well, that's modern sound effect equipment, computer. Private Detective Sam Spade faces his deadliest adversary, Gracie Allen, in an episode of Maxwell House Coffee Time with George Burns and Gracie Allen. Now, originally, this was broadcast back in February 10th, 1949. In our second episode, we have the mightiest man in the British Navy, the gallant, swashbuckling Captain Horatio Hornblower, as played by that dashing and rugged Jack Benny. And this was originally broadcast on September 23rd, 1951. Now, incidentally, you will be hearing a very rare and special treat. The original ending of the Horatio Hornblower script. You see, at the time of the original airing, the show ran overtime and at the rehearsals, and so they ended up cutting the ending off and cutting the show. But we found the original script, and we have restored it back. So now you will hear the story as it was meant to be heard, and has never before been aired. So this is a rare treat. And this was back in 1951. And so we're going to do our best to recreate these two shows for you with sound effects, music, and everything else. While you're listening, you might imagine that you are one of the fortunate few to be in the live studio audience as they watch their favorite performers do their thing. Or imagine that you're sitting in your old living room in front of the old Philco radio, anxiously waiting for your favorite show to begin. So now, join us as we take you back to those thrilling days of yesteryear.
Another cup of Maxwell House coffee, George?
Sure. Pour me a cup, Gracie.
You know, Maxwell House is always good to the last drop.
That drop's good, too.
Yes, it's Maxwell House Coffee Time, starring George Burns and Gracie Allen. With our special guest, Howard Duff, who is the famous detective, Sam Spade. Yours truly, Toby Reed. Joseph Kearns, Eric Snowden, Harry Lubin, the Maxwell House Orchestra, and Bill Goodwin.
And for America's Thursday night comedy enjoyment, it's George and Gracie. And for America's everyday coffee drinking enjoyment, it's Maxwell House. Always good to the last drop.
Many people say that Gracie is responsible for George being where he is today. That is certainly true. Gracie is also responsible for Sam Spade being where he is today. You see, George and Sam Spade are both in jail. How did it happen? Well, let's see as George is being questioned by a police lieutenant.
All right, let's start at the top. Name?
George Burns.
Occupation?
I'm married to Gracie Allen.
No. What do you do? What keeps you busy?
I'm married to Gracie Allen.
Let me put it this way. What's your source of income?
I'm married to Gracie Allen.
All right, skip it. What's your age?
Approximately 42.
How come you look older?
I'm married to Gracie Allen.
What's your address?
360 North Camden.
All right, Burns, now suppose you tell me why you're in this jam.
I'm married to Gracie Allen.
You're in a rut. Hey, Spade, how come you're in this jam?
He's married to Gracie Allen.
You know, Burns, you and this Spade character are accused of murder. Now suppose you tell me the whole story right from the start.
Okay, Lieutenant. It all started last Sunday night. I was sitting home listening to the radio with my wife. I'm married to Gracie Allen.
Yeah, that part I know. Take it from there.
Well, Gracie and I were listening to the adventures of Sam Spade. The program was just finishing.
All right, Jenkins, let's take a little ride downtown to headquarters.
Me, sir? But I wouldn't murder Mr. Benson. I've been his butler for 20 years.
Don't play innocent. I know you pulled this caper. I've got enough evidence to put you right in the hot seat.
But, Mr. Spade, I didn't do it.
Save the malarkey for the warden. You were clever, Jenkins, but not clever enough. I think I'll call this the careless butler caper.
Why'd you turn off the radio, Gracie?
Sam Spade got the wrong man tonight.
What?
I'm positive that Jenkins the butler wasn't guilty. An innocent man is going to get the hot plate.
Hot seat. And don't worry, he'll only get it on the radio.
Well, who cares where they put it? When he sits down, it will burn. Oh, I've got to talk to Sam Spade right away.
Honey, Sam Spade is not a real detective.
I'll say he isn't. Any man who make an innocent butler sit on a hot plate.
Gracie, he'll get a hot seat.
He sure will after he sits on a hot plate.
Look, here's what I mean. On his program, Sam Spade is a private detective. But in real life, he's just an ordinary guy. Just like on your program, you're a nitwit. But in real life, that won't work. Anyway, Gracie, what you just heard was only a radio program.
I know that. The real crime happened last week. Every Sunday night, Sam Spade broadcasts his most thrilling cases of the week.
You still don't understand. Sam Spade is just a character.
I'll say he's a character, making that poor innocent butler sit on a hot plate.
Hot seat. Let me try to explain this once more. Sam Spade isn't even the fellow's real name. He's the brainchild of Dashiell Hammett.
Oh, you mean his real name is Sam Hammett?
No, his real name is Howard Duff.
Then why isn't his father's name Dashiell Duff?
Look, Sam Spade doesn't have any actual father or mother. He came from Dashiell Hammett's typewriter.
Oh, George, you're so innocent. You know, I bet you'll believe that old story about coming from under cabbage leaves, too.
What's the use? Okay, Sam Spade is a naughty detective, and he's sending an innocent butler to the hot plate.
Hot seat.
Good night.
Good night.
Well, Lieutenant, I didn't think any more about it. I was tired and it was past my bedtime.
What time was it?
It was after 9.
Gee.
So I went to bed thinking Gracie would follow me. Instead, she followed Sam Spade.
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, let me tell you about that part of it, Lieutenant.
Okay, Spade.
Well, I finished my regular Sunday night show at the broadcasting studio, after which the actors lingered on for a bit, for a little bull session. Who stepped on whose lines, I want a bigger part next week, and so forth. So, it's about 10 when I step out into the California night air. Kind of cold, which is also about 10. But there's no snow, so I decided to walk home. I haven't taken 2 steps when this little lady grabs me by the sleeve and says,
Are you Sam Spade?
well, if I had known then what I know now, I would have thrown myself under the wheels of a passing sunset bus. But I'm a ham, and I figured, she's probably a fan. I answer in my best Pasadena Playhouse voice, well, yes, I'm Sam Spade.
The butler didn't do it.
Huh?
You've got the wrong man. The butler didn't jerk that kipper.
Jerk the kipper?
Yank that copper?
You mean pull the caper?
That's it, yes. You sent an innocent man to jail.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Lady, I think you're a little mixed up about me. I'm just an actor on CBS.
That's what everybody says.
Look, little lady, I'm tired. It's been a tough day. I'll see you around, huh?
Now, just a minute, Sam Spade. I heard you arrest that butler. Now, you've got to let him go free.
You wouldn't give me a rib, would you?
Anything to free that butler. Which rib do you want?
I'll tell you what. Why don't you write me a letter with a dull pencil? Don't use anything sharp.
I'll do better than that. I'll come to your office. Where is it?
I haven't got an office.
Oh. Playing cagey, eh? All right, I'll come to your house. Where's that?
3, 2, 1. Oh, no. I'm not talking. I want to get some sleep tonight. So long.
So long.
Why are you following me? What do you want?
Got a cigarette?
Sure. Here you are.
Thanks. Got a match?
Sure. Want me to light it for you?
No, thanks. I don't smoke.
Then why did you ask me for a cigarette?
Well, I thought I'd better have it in case somebody asked me for one.
I see.
Would you like a cigarette?
No thanks.
Well, good night.
Good night. Okay, now what?
Got the time?
Yeah, it's exactly 10:10.
Thanks.
I meant it's 10 minutes after 10.
You're wrong. My watch says 15 after 10.
You got a watch?
Sure.
Then why did you ask me for the time?
Want a cigarette?
No.
Well, good night.
Good night. Look, lady, stop following me.
Oh, it's you again.
Yeah, fancy meeting me here. Can't I give you the slip?
Please, I couldn't accept a thing like that from a strange man.
Oh, all right. What do you want this time?
Got a road map?
A road map? Are you lost?
No.
May I make a suggestion?
What?
Get lost.
Well, good night.
Good night. Well, I've had enough of this, little lady. You've seen the end of me.
Yes, for 2 blocks.
This time I'll lose you. Hey, taxi! Taxi! Let's get out of here, cabby, but fast. Here's my house, cabby. Pull up. That was real driving, buddy. Keep the change. Good night.
Good night.
Oh, no. How did you get here?
I'm back to that cab.
Who are you, anyway?
Oh, no. I'm too smart to tell you who I am. If I did, you'd complain to my husband, George Burns.
Oh, so you're Gracie Allen.
How did you find out?
You forget, I'm a detective.
Oh,
And now I know what the National Safety Council means when they say, don't be a Gracie.
oh, never mind that. Are you going to let the butler go?
Look, Gracie, there's really no butler in prison, and I'm not really Sam Spade.
Oh, now don't give me that story about your mother being a typewriter.
What?
You're not talking to a child. I'm older than I look.
Okay, Gracie. I say there's no arguing with a smart girl like you. I'll see that the butler gets out, okay? I'll get him the best mouthpiece in town.
Get him out first. Fix his teeth later.
Okay. Good night. Well, Lieutenant, I thought that would be the end of the episode.
But it wasn't, huh?
Brother, you haven't heard anything yet. The next morning...
Wait a minute, Mr. Burns. Before I listen to any more of the story, I'll have to send out for some aspirin.
Here, have some of mine.
Hey, how come you walk around with your pockets full of aspirin?
I'm married to Gracie Allen.
Let's see if I've got this straight so far, Burns. Your wife listened to Sam Spade's program, thought he was really sending an innocent butler to the chair, and started hounding him.
That's right, Lieutenant.
What did you think, Spade?
I didn't know what to think, Lieutenant. The surveys tell me I have 10 million odd listeners, but I didn't think any of them were that odd.
Yeah. Well, anyway, to get rid of her, you told her that you'd free the butler.
Yeah, but that didn't satisfy Gracie. She demanded to see the guy.
That's when Spade came to see me about stopping Gracie. I told him to ask me something easy, like getting Westbrook Pegler to dance with Eleanor Roosevelt. He said he was desperate. He said he came to me for help. He asked me to make Gracie leave him alone.
What did you say?
I asked him if he'd like to dance with Eleanor Roosevelt.
Mr. Burns, why do you put up with a wife like that?
I'm too old to go back to Gus Edwards. Besides which, I happen to love her.
So what did you two decide to do?
Well, there was only one thing we could do. That was dig up the actor who played the butler on my program and let Gracie see him.
Which we did.
Yeah, and that's when we really got into trouble.
Tell me just what happened.
Okay. Spade was giving the guy his final instruction.
Now remember, Claude, you are Jenkins, the butler, and I have set you free.
Don't worry, I'll have Mrs. Burns crying like a baby. In radio, they don't call me the male Ma Perkins for nothing.
Well, come on. Gracie's in the next room. Honey, here's Sam Spade.
Yes, Mrs. Burns, and I've freed the butler. Here he is.
How do you do, madam?
It is the butler. I recognize that voice. Oh, I'm so happy for you, Jenkins. What will you do now that you're free?
I shall return to the home of my youth.
Where does your youth live?
I had reference to my birthplace, madam. Dear old England. I shall go back there to regain my health.
Really?
Yes, America is nice, but I'll take Liverpool.
Oh, you don't have to go to England for Liverpools. They're made right here.
Ah, yes, that's Carter's Little Liverpools. They take them sometimes.
Liverpool is the name of a city.
Yes, now, thank you, Mrs. Burns, for getting you out of jail and then disappeared.
Madam, Your beneficent intervention has terminated a most injurious and humiliating incarceration. You'll never know what that means.
Well, he won't unless you shorten the words.
Bye, Jenkins.
Farewell all. I'll go to a new and better life.
Goodbye. Write me from Kidney Creek.
Liverpool.
Well, I was in the right neighborhood. Goodbye.
Well, that takes care of that, huh, George?
You said it.
I'll be running along, too. Goodbye, Gracie.
Just a minute. Now look, if the butler didn't murder Mr. Benson, who did?
Huh?
You proved that his wife and daughter didn't do it, and there's only one other person on the scene, so he must be the murderer.
Who?
You.
Me?
Confess, Sam Spade. You murdered Mr. Benson.
I got no motive.
Then you did it with something else.
Look, Gracie, we really...
Hand me my lipstick, George. I'm going to give him the 3rd degree.
Lipstick.
Well, I want to look nice when he shines that bright light in my face.
You're supposed to shine it in his face.
Oh, well, then give him the lipstick.
I'm getting out of this madhouse. Goodbye.
Well, Lieutenant, Spade ran out of the house like he was seeing a ghost, which was true because from then on Gracie started haunting him, trying to make him confess.
Yeah, she found out my radio sponsor was Wild Root Cream Oil, so she disguised herself with a big hat and a veil and knocked at my door.
Sam Spade,
Yes?
how do you do? My name is Wildroot.
Wild Root?
Perhaps you know my husband, Willie Cream Oil? My full name is Mrs. Wildwood Cream Oil. I'm the wife of your sponsor.
Now look,
I understand you murdered a Mr. Benson. Now that's strictly forbidden in your contract.
Mrs. Cream Oil, you look a lot like Gracie Allen to me.
Flattery will get you nowhere. However, if you'd like to confess, perhaps we can get you off with life imprisonment. And when you come out, you can take over your radio program again.
Gracie, I did not murder Mr. Benson. Go away. But the next day she was back, this time with another disguise. Yes?
Sam
Yes?
Spade,
Yes?
I'm from Western Union. I have a telegram here from President Truman.
What?
I'll read it to you. Dear Sam, confess. Signed, Harry. Any answer?
Scram. Beat it. Go away.
That's no way to talk to the president.
Out! Out! But the third day topped everything. She posed as a private detective.
Sam Spade,
Yes?
I'm Sally Shovel. Now listen, chum. We're in the same racket, Cal, and I want to help you, buddy. So why don't you confess, Mac?
You're a private eye.
Also, ear, nose, and throat. I put everything into my work. Now confess, Doc. So you murdered Benson. So what? I've been mixed up with a few keepers, or is it capers?
In your case, it's keepers. Now go away.
Well, Lieutenant, that's when Spade came to see me again, looking much older.
Yeah, we hit on a brilliant scheme. We decided that I would confess to the murder. Then George would pretend to take me to City Hall to surrender, and Gracie would forget the whole thing.
But Gracie did something we didn't count on.
What was that?
While I was going to pick up Spade, she called the police.
Oh yeah, that's where I come into the picture. She called me.
Suppose you tell us what happened then.
Well, when I got to the house, she said,
Officer, there's a desperate criminal on his way here to confess a murder. As soon as he confesses, you can grab him.
"Don't worry, lady, I'll grab him.
That must be him.
You wait in the next room. He may be armed."
Oh, he is. There's one hanging from each shoulder. You call me if you need me.
Oh, hello. Where is everybody?
Never mind. What's your name?
Bill Goodwin.
What did you do with the body?
I took her home.
What did you do then?
I dumped her out.
Ah, she was dead, huh?
Oh, sure, that's why I took her home.
You've done a pretty terrible thing, young man.
Tomorrow I'll send her some flowers.
Ah, you're a real killer.
Well, sure.
Now tell me everything you did tonight.
I will not. Who are you, her father?
No!
Oh, well, in that case, I'll tell you then. Another fellow and I double dated. We met the girls and the four of us went into a restaurant for dinner. I ordered 4 cups of Maxwell House coffee.
Then what?
I told the waiter to bring the other people some too. See, I wanted them to taste the rich, mellow goodness of Maxwell House. It's America's favorite coffee, you know.
Yes, I know. What happened then?
Well, that's when the girl and I got into a fight.
Aha! What about?
She caught me drinking her Maxwell House coffee.
But you'd had 4 cups.
Well, when you taste the good to the last drop flavor, you just don't know when to stop. You know, Maxwell House is a blend of the finest Latin American coffees, radiant, roasted to the peak of flavor perfection.
Well, officer, did he confess to the murder? Bill Goodwin.
He confessed everything, Mrs. Burns. He got mixed up with a girl, and now he's headed for the chair.
Oh, you're nuts! When I get mixed up with a girl, I head for the divan.
I mean the electric chair. You killed the girl.
Are you kidding? All I killed was 5 cups of Maxwell House coffee.
Yes, officer, this is the wrong man. Sam Spade is the one you want to arrest.
Sam Spade is in trouble? Ah, gee, I was going to hire him to find someone for me.
Who?
Oh, a girl about 5 feet 8, red hair, green eyes, terrific figure, drives a Cadillac convertible.
Oh, when did you last see her?
Who's seen her? I want Spade to find me one like that. Well, so long.
Well, there won't be any mistake this time, officer. Here comes my husband up the walk with the real murderer.
Yeah, anyone can tell that guy's a criminal. Look at that low forehead.
That's my husband.
Oh. Well, this time I want to hear the confession before I make the pinch. I'll just duck into this closet.
Oh, poor Mr. Spade. I hate to think of him sitting in the electric chair. With those long legs, he'll be so uncomfortable.
Well, here he is, Gracie, ready to confess.
Yes, I can hide the truth no longer. I killed Benson.
Why did you do it, Mr. Spade?
That man murdered my mother, ruined my father, tortured my sister, and robbed my brother.
Oh, then it was nothing personal.
I just didn't like him.
Oh, how did it happen?
Benson was standing in a bar, see? I walked up to him, let him have 2 slugs, and he fell to the floor.
Oh, couldn't hold his liquor, huh?
He let him have 2 slugs from a pistol. Now keep quiet, let the man confess.
Yes, dear.
I never gave him a chance, see? I shot him down in cold blood. As he lay on the floor, I pulled the trigger again and again. When the gun was empty, I stood over the body and laughed like the fiend I am. I should be locked up for 20 years, 30 years.
I'll make that 40.
Huh? Who are you?
I'm Regan from Homicide.
I called him over to hear your confession.
Okay, come on, Spade.
Officer, wait a minute, let me explain. Mr. Spade and I cooked this whole thing up together.
Oh, an accomplice. I'll take you along, too.
Wait a minute, I've never done anything wrong in my life.
Well, of course not. He's my husband, the man who married me.
All right, so I did one thing wrong.
Come on, you two.
Well, Lieutenant, that's the whole story.
My apologies, fellas. You're both free to go.
Thanks. Come on, Sam, let's get out of here.
You said it.
By the way, Mr. Burns, your wife's waiting outside.
Gracie? So long, George. I'm staying in jail.
So long.
Oh, hello, darling.
Hello, Gracie. Let's go home.
Oh, I can't, sweetheart. I've got something important to do.
Hey, you've got that big hat on and the veil on again. Where are you going?
Well, while you were in jail, I heard El McQueen on the radio, and he arrested the wrong man.
Oh, no, you're not going to start again.
Join us again next Thursday when we'll all be back. George Burns, Gracie Allen, Bill Goodwin, Harry Lubin, and the Maxwell House Orchestra. And yours truly, Toby Reed.
Well, Gracie, next week we're going to have 2 guest stars, Mr. and Mrs. James Mason.
James Mason? He's that wonderful English actor who's so mean and so rough with women.
That's the man.
Gee, he might hit me. But with you there, he wouldn't dare.
You said it.
If he hit me, you'd show him. You'd hit Mrs. Mason.
That's what I do, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's all remember to help the National Safety Council cut down the terrible toll of home accidents. Be safe. Be careful. Don't be a Gracie.
Howard Duff will soon be seen as star of the Universal International picture Red Canyon. Until next Thursday, when our guests will be Mr. and Mrs. James Mason, good night and good luck from the makers of Maxwell House, America's favorite brand of coffee. Always good to the last drop. The George Burns and Gracie Allen Show is written by Paul Henning and Keith Fowler.
Starring Jack Benny, with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we bring you the star of our show, the man who was the inspiration for that beautiful ballad, Too Young. And here he is, Jack Benny!
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello again, this is Jack Benny talking, and Don, that was a very clever introduction. So I think it's only fair that I tell the audience that you, too, were the inspiration for a song.
Me?
Yes, my truly, truly fat. Don, here it is, only the second program this season, and already you had to give me a sarcastic introduction.
Sarcastic, Jack. Believe me, I didn't mean it to be.
Oh, you didn't mean it to be, huh? Well, look, Don, we have a long show to do tonight, so
Jack, if I had any idea that you would misconstrue what was meant to be a compliment, I certainly wouldn't have said it.
Okay, let's forget it. And now, ladies and gentlemen...
Jack, I can't forget it.
Don.
I wouldn't say anything to hurt you for the world.
All right, Don.
In fact, when I thought of that introduction, I told it to my wife, and she said, Donald, that's beautiful. I'm so glad you're not going to say anything to make the old goat unhappy.
What? Don, your wife called me an old goat?
Well...
Don, does your wife know about the new contract I gave you?
Well, yes, Jack, and it's not so different. I've always worked for week to week.
Well, this year you're working from word to word. I can fire you between LS and MFT. Now go and sit down.
And now wait a minute, Jack.
Oh.
If you feel that my services are no longer needed on this program, just say the word and I'll go.
Don, forget it. Sit down, will you? Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're going to do a very... Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, Jack. I'm sorry I'm late.
That's all right.
I'll tell you what happened. I was driving down Sunset Boulevard. I made a left turn from the wrong lane and a cop stopped me.
No kidding. Did you get a ticket?
Well, he was going to give me one, but I talked him out of it.
Oh?
I told him I was a working girl and I didn't have much money. And right now, it was especially tough on me because I was sending my brother through college.
Well, did he believe that?
Well, he didn't seem to, so I opened my purse to show him my brother's picture. But I was so nervous I showed him a picture of my sister Babe instead.
Oh, then you were really in trouble.
No, it worked.
Now, wait a minute, Mary. I know we kid a lot about Babe, but how could anyone mistake her for a man?
Well, fortunately, when this picture was taken, Babe had just come home from a football game and was still wearing her helmet.
Oh, well, I imagine that broken nose helped a little, too. Anyway, Mary, I'm glad you didn't get a ticket. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for our feature...
I got my pride, you know.
Don, forget it.
I won't forget it. If I'm not wanted on this program, I'll leave.
Jack, what's wrong with Don?
Oh, it's nothing.
Nothing, he says, after all I've done for him.
Now, just hold a minute, Don. What have you ever done for me?
I'll tell you what I've done for you. I've been on this program 17 years, and for 17 years I've been eating and stuffing myself just so you can do jokes at my expense.
What?
How many laughs would you get if I weren't a big fat slob?
Don Wilson, I never called you that.
Well, you've thought it many a time.
Jack Benny, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Ashamed of myself for what? I knew this whole thing would be twisted around where it'd be all my fault.
My mother hates you too.
Dennis, this doesn't concern your mother, and it doesn't concern you either. It's just between me and Don.
Oh, hello, Mr. Benny.
Hello. Now, this is just between Don and myself.
Now, wait a minute, Jack. What concerns one member of the cast concerns all of us.
Look, Mary, you can keep out of this, too.
Wait a minute, you can't talk to Mary like that.
Oh, I can, eh? Well, let me tell you something.
Hold it! Stop this bickering. We've got to stick together. We're still in radio.
Well, Phil, this whole thing is Don's fault. He not only gave me a sarcastic introduction, but now he tells me that I owe my whole career to him. That if he didn't eat and got fat, I would have no show at all.
Well, Jackson, Donzi's got a point there.
What?
Look what I have to do to live up to the character you gave me.
Look, Phil...
Do you think I like to drink?
Huh?
Do you think I like to spend my time in pool rooms, and cocktail bars, and staggering home at 4 o'clock in the morning? Do you think I enjoy that?
Now let me get this straight. Phil, you mean to say you do all this just for my program? How come I saw you lying in the gutter?
Rehearsal, Dad, rehearsal.
Well, Phil, in that case, I owe you an apology. Is there anything I can do to make amends?
Well, I'm not sure. What does amends mean?
Just forget it. Now look, I've listened to all your complaints. Don claims he stuffs himself at the table so he can be fat for my program. Phil claims he drinks a lot so he can remain in character just for my show. But let me tell you something. I make sacrifices too to get laughs. You think it's easy for me to be stingy and cheap?
Well, this is a loyalty test if I ever heard one.
Never mind. Now, Dennis, it's time for your song. What are you going to sing?
Dear old Donegal.
Good.
I was going to sing Too Young, but I didn't want to start another fight.
All right, sing anything.
It seems like only yesterday I left the port of Cork, and on a ship from O'Learen's Isle I landed in New York, without a friend to meet me there, and a stranger on the shore. Oh, I wore an honest Irish heart, and fortune came galore. So here I am, a-going back to dear old Erin's Isle. My friends will meet me on the pier, and they'll greet me with a smile. Their faces that I'll surely forget, for I was so long away. But me mother will introduce them all, and this to me will say: shake hands with your Uncle Mike, me boy, shake hands with your sister Kate, and here's the girl you used to swing down by the garden gate. Shake hands with all the neighbours, and kiss the Collins on. You're as welcome as the flowers in May to dear old Donegal. They'll give me a party when I get back, and they'll come from near and far. They'll line the road for miles and miles with Irish jaunted cars. The spirits will flow, we'll all be gay, we'll fill our hearts with joy. The paddles will play the Irish tune to greet the Yankee boy. For tomorrow out to the church I'll go, and wedded I will be to my pretty little calling bond, sweet Biddy McGee. For Biddy was true and faithful to her ditty o'er the sea. We'll join the harp and shamrock to the stars of liberty. There'll come Brannigan, Bannigan, Milligan, Gilligan, Duffy, McDuffy, McGarvey, Malone, Rafferty, Lafferty, Donnelly, Connolly, Dooley, O'Hooley, Maloney, Malone, Mannigan, Cannigan, Lonigan, Flanagan, Fagan, O'Hagan, O'Hooligan, Flynn, Shanigan, Mannigan, Fogarty, Hogarty, Kelly, O'Kelly, O'Shapiro, McGinn. Then I'll shake the hand of me Uncle Mike, the hand of me sister Kate. Oh, I'll hug and squeeze as much as I please the girl by the garden gate. I'll invite all the neighbours to be wedding great and small, and I'll live content and pay no rent in dear old Donegal.
Dear Old Donegal, sung by Dennis Day. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for our...
That's certainly a fine way to start a season.
What?
I just sang a song and you didn't even compliment me.
Listen, Dennis, I don't have to compliment you every time you sing a song. After all, you're getting paid, aren't you?
No,
Well, what do you mean, no?
that's why I have to wear these old clothes all the time.
What are you talking about? You've been with me for over 10 years now, haven't you?
Uh-huh,
And after every broadcast, haven't I sent you a check?
uh-huh.
Well, what do you do with the money when you cash them?
Oh, cash them!
Mary, give me an Alka-Seltzer, will you please?
Well, Jack, I didn't want to embarrass you in front of everybody, but since we're on the subject, I'd like to talk about the check you sent me last week.
Well, what about it?
It bounced.
Bounced? You mean it came back marked insufficient funds?
No, improper signature.
My check? I remember signing it, Jack Benny.
I know, but you left off star of stage, screen, and radio.
Oh, yes. That's my commercial account. I'm sorry. Well, now let's get on with the program. Unless the delegate from Encino has a complaint. Anything wrong with your check, Phil?
No, I just show it to Alice. We have a good laugh, and that's the end of it.
Phil, Alice can laugh at Xanax checks, believe me. Now, kids, let's drop all these arguments and get on with the program. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for our feature attraction tonight. Oh, now, who can that be? Hello?
Hello, Mr. Bennett. This is Rochester.
Rochester. I'm just ready to do a play. What do you want?
Well,
use them to clean the house.
Well, that's ridiculous. How can you clean the house with golf clubs?
Easy. I wrap rags around the driver and use it to mop the floors.
What?
I did the kitchen in 4 strokes. The pantry in 5. I had trouble in the hall, but coming through the den, I was 3 under par.
Well, if there's any way of making play out of work, you'll find it. I'm surprised you didn't try this little trick of yours in the living room.
I wanted to, but that dust on the piano, it's worse than a sand trap.
That I know, and it's your fault, too. Now, Rochester, put away my golf clubs.
Rochester, honey, hang up that phone and let's finish the game.
Rochester? Who was that?
My caddy!
I'll be home in about an hour, so you better have dinner ready.
Yes, sir. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh, say, boss,
Now what?
that check you gave me last week that had my first raise in salary bounced.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, what's wrong? Improper signature?
No,
Insufficient funds?
no,
Well, then what was wrong?
they just wouldn't believe it.
Oh, well, we'll have it notarized. Don't worry. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Funny how a checking account can get so messed up. Now, where was it?
You were getting ready to start our sketch.
Oh, yes. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for our feature attraction tonight, we're going to do a dramatic play. Our version of Warner Brothers' great Technicolor production, Captain Horatio Hornblower. Now, in this sketch, I will play the part of Captain Horatio Hornblower.
Naturally.
Now, Mary, you're going to play the part Virginia Mayo played in the picture.
Oh, Lady Barbara.
That's right.
Yeah.
And towards the end of the sketch, you're delirious with yellow fever, and while I'm nursing you through your crisis, you fall madly in love with me.
I'll bet I know why.
Why?
While I was delirious, you looked like Gregory Peck.
Thank you. Anyway, you're Lady Barbara, and you were sent in on a special mission by the Duke of Wellington.
Hey, he's got a great orchestra.
That's Duke Ellington. Now, Phil, you're going to be the first mate, and Don, you're going to play the part of an admiral.
Well, an admiral, that sounds real important.
This Don, you're going to be one of the biggest admirals. You have a 19-inch screen.
I wouldn't be able to play that part if I didn't stuff myself just for you.
Look, Don, don't do me any favors. I'll change that part. You'll be just a member of my crew. And finally, we come to you, Dennis.
It's about time.
Dennis, you're going to play the part of El Supremo.
El Supremo?
Yes, he's an unscrupulous, power-mad, ruthless, bloodthirsty cutthroat who'll stop at nothing to get what he wants.
Gee, that's my agent.
No, El Supremo happens to be a Spanish rebel. Now, Don, set the scene for our play.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, our version of Captain Horatio Hornblower. In the year of 1807, all that kept Napoleon from dominating the entire world was England's gallant navy. One of England's smaller ships was the Lydia, a wooden vessel carrying only 32 cannon. But making up for what she lacked in firepower was the bravery, wisdom, seamanship, and daring of her commander, Captain Horatio Hornblower.
That's me.
Naturally.
Quiet, Dennis. Continue, Don.
Right now, with the air dead calm, the men are out in boats trying to tow the Lydia into a wind.
Look at those men. Well, like Napoleon, fear the likes of them. They've gone without fresh fruit for a year, without bread for 7 months, without water for days. And for 6 whole weeks, they haven't heard, come on to my house. Stout fellows.
You're right, Captain. And that's why I'm afraid the men might mutiny. They haven't touched land for nearly a year. They're going crazy for the sight of a woman.
Why?
You wouldn't understand.
I wouldn't?
Naturally.
Well, look, men, hark! A breeze, by the great horn spool, we whistled up a wind. Call the men back to the ship, Wilson.
Aye, aye, sir. Back to the ship, man!
Look out, Wilson. Don't get too close to the edge or you're gonna... Man He's swimming for it. Come on, Wilson. A few more strokes and... Captain! Look at that man eating shark.
Yeah, look at that man eating that shark. Good man, Wilson, stout fellow.
I'm only stuffing myself for you!
Never mind. I'm aboard, Wilson.
Captain Hornblower, look. There's a ship off the port side.
Let me get a look at it. Hand me your glass.
Here you are, sir.
Not that one, the one you look through. That's better.
What does she look like, Captain?
She flies the French flag, but she's no man of war. She'll soon surrender. Mate, fire a shot across her bow.
One shot across the bow. Fire!
What happened?
The wind was against us. Shall I fire another shot, Captain?
No need for that. She's running up the white flag. Send the boat over and bring back the prisoners. I'll be in my cabin.
Aye, sir.
Come in.
It's me, sir. I have the captain of the French ship. And, sir, they had a woman passenger aboard, so I brought her too.
A woman, eh? Well, bring the captain in. I want to question him first.
Naturally.
You stay out of this. Bring him in, mate.
Come on, in with you. Get in here.
Are you the captain of that French ship?
Oui,
And you sailed from the port of Marseille?
oui,
And you're carrying a woman aboard?
oui.
What does a woman look like?
Wow,
Wow!
oui.
Well, I won't bother with him. Throw him in irons. I'll question the woman. Where is she?
Right outside, sir.
Oh, there she is. I'll talk to her. Mademoiselle, je wantais parler avec vous?
Hello, Captain.
Oh, wait a minute. You speak English.
I am English.
What was that?
Captain, you'd better get her ladyship down below decks. The men are becoming unruly.
All right. Don't worry, your ladyship. You're safe with me.
Naturally.
Thank you, your ladyship. Just come along with me.
Ship off the starboard bow!
What kind is she?
She's a Spanish galleon!
A galleon?
Good, that's a quart for each of us. Oh, Harris. Many brave hearts are asleep in the deep, but you're awake every minute.
Last year by this time, he'd gone already. All right, men, clear the decks for action.
Wait, Captain, the Spaniards are pulling out a small boat.
Yeah, look. Standing in the prow is El Supremo.
El Supremo!
Captain, El Supremo's boat is almost alongside of us.
Mate, prepare to fire a salute in El Supremo's honor and be ready to pipe him aboard.
Aye, aye, sir. Guns, fire!
Company, attention in honor of El Supremo.
Pipe him aboard.
Which one of you commoners is the Capitan?
I am El Supremo.
When you saw me approach, you fired an 11-gun salute.
That's right. I hope you liked it.
Like it? Pig! I am insulted! I am El Supremo! I am accustomed to a 23-gun salute.
But El Supremo, I can only use 11 guns.
But you have many more. What are you doing with the rest of the guns?
I'm making puffed rice. It's quite good when you add
And now who are these other commoners?
Oh, they're members of my crew, sir, and this is Lady Barbara Wellington.
Hello, El Supremo.
Come here, my little pigeon. I will kiss your hand.
Wait a minute, El Supremo, Lady Barbara gave her her hand. Why did you kiss her on the lips?
I had leave.
Oh, you did. But you can't.
A quiet commoner. One so lovely as yourself does not speak direct to El Supremo. If you have anything to say, discuss it with my Prime Minister over there.
Yes. Excuse me. Are you El Supremo's Prime Minister?
Si,
Is it true that he holds his prisoners for ransom?
si,
And the ransom is 1,000 bushels of beans?
si,
What kind of beans?
soy,
Soy?
si.
Wait a minute. Haven't I seen you before?
See,
Where?
a few minutes ago I was the French Capitan.
The French captain?
Oui,
We?
see,
What's your name?
Mel Blanc.
Mel Blanc.
See,
C?
Mel C. Blanc.
What does the C stand for?
Sigh,
Size?
see.
Now cut that out! Well, it doesn't scare me. I think El Supremo for a time. I think El Supremo was a yellow dog.
I heard that, Pete! For this you die! Draw your sword!
All right, stand back, everyone. On guard.
Aha! The English captain is a foe worthy of my blade!
You're right. I'm Captain Horatio Hornblower, England's greatest swordsman. Take that! Oops. Sorry, Lady Barbara. Come on, El Supremo.
Nobody leaves to insult El Supremo!
Oh, yeah? I've got you cornered. There! I'll miss my first mate. But I'll get you yet, El Supremo.
Prepare to die, Pete! Your end is near!
Oh, yeah? First you'll taste the coldness of my steel. There! Oops. Got Wilson.
Well, him you could hardly miss. Well, that's all. I surrender. I am your prisoner.
Well, why are you surrendering? You haven't even been hurt.
There are only 2 of us left.
Oh, you're a coward.
Naturally.
All right, men. Let the wind take her. We're headed home for England. We're a little late, folks, so good night.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Thank you all so much for joining us today for the wonderful, thrilling days of yesteryear. We hope you've had a wonderful time and have enjoyed exploring and featuring the men and women of the golden age of radio. If you enjoyed this show, please come on back. We have our next show scheduled for Sunday, May 29th, with a whole nother batch of wonderful, fun, exciting episodes ready to go. And can't tell you what it is now because it'll be a surprise, but be sure to come back Sunday, March 29th at 2 o'clock right here. And now for the cast of those thrilling days of yesteryear. Playing the roles of Sam Spade and Rochester, Tim Baker. Playing the role of Claude and Jack Benny, John Corona. Tony Reed and Phil Harris, played by Don Gingold. And George Burns and Mel Blanc, covered by John Gould. Gracie Allen and Rochester's caddy, Margie Gustafson. The caddy and Don Wilson, Steve Schroeder. And Lieutenant Reagan was played by Lars Timpa. And Mary Livingston, Ann Turlow. And I'm your producer, also playing Bill Dubin and Dennis Day, Ben Dooley. And what sound effects team would be complete without the synchronous, what radio show would be complete without the synchronous sound effect stylings of Ben Dooley, Pam Turlow, and Jessica Carey. And of course, special thanks to the magical musical stylings of Peter Storm on piano. And today's show was transcribed and directed by our own Craig Gustafson in the back. And on behalf of the rest of the cast, we'd like to thank you for helping our show to come alive and for living those thrilling days of yesteryear so that we can bring them back to you.